Hey guys, working on a 2012 Honda CR-V with the all-wheel drive, and we're going to be doing rear pads and rotors. Let's begin. First thing I want to knock out is these rotor hold down screws. I'm going to show you how to get these out. You want to get these out first, because if you can't get them out and you get all this done, trust me, you're going to cry in the end. Let's get started. And I guess I forgot to mention, this is a jack point right here, and you can jack it up by that rear piece of the frame if you have a big jack. Okay, right here, it's the parking brake. We're gonna put the parking brake on to lock the rotor in place, so now we can take off the those Phillips heads. All right, with the Phillips head bit, I already sprayed these with some penetrating fluid ahead of time, and I'm just gonna keep even pressure, and that's one. There's two. Whew. Now they're coming out. Size is a PH3 Phillips head bit. And let that back up. Alright, first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to open up this bleeder screw here. Hit it with a little bit of penetrating fluid. Remove this little dust cap. And it's a 10 millimeter. Just gonna crack it for now, and that's it. Lock it back down. Good. And then we have these two bolts here. These are 12s, I believe. Lefty-loosey. No, it's the other way around. So there you go. One. And there's two. There you go. And pry it out. Little pry tool here. Just work it out. There you go. And we will lay this right here on the suspension part. It will not hurt anything. It's putting weight on it. And now we can focus on getting these caliper bracket bolts out. They're 17s. Alright, 17 millimeters, or yeah, 17. We are going down. You may need a breaker bar, depending on your strength level. Let's see here. Man. Come on. Holy smoke. Somebody say lock thread. Hey. Next one. One, that's two, and we can pull her out. Alright, and now let's see if this doesn't come out relatively easy. You can get the caliper screws, and they'll usually thread into here, and what you do is you keep spinning them, and they'll push against the hub, and they'll cause these to come out. But luckily these are coming out pretty good, just like that. And that is our drum brake parking system. And now we can start cleaning and prepping everything. Alright, let's start cleaning this up here. Brake clean. And got our hub here clean. Now we need to focus on cleaning our caliper bracket. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do here is pop those clips off. Always buy new hardware when you can, every time you can. And let me get my big one. we're going to clean and lubricate our slide pins here. And this boot is nasty. Just gonna wipe it down as much as we can. Knock as much crud off. Slip that back. And I hate that kind of caliper grease. It's not coming off easy either. Alright, it doesn't come off easy. Get some sandpaper. And now we can get this ready with some 3M silicone paste. I don't like using grease. That stuff gets hard and black and cruddy like you've seen before. Silicone paste is just superior. Be kind of liberal with it. Just like that. And a good slide pin, you should see it move freely just like that. That's what you want to see. Versus this, you notice how hard it is just to even get to much. And let's get past this one. Alright, cleaned and re-lubricated. Push that thing in there and look at that. That's what you want to see. Very nice. Now let's get our new hardware on. Alright, now before we put this on, I like to get some ceramic brake lube like this. Not a lot of it, but we're going to get some on the backing plate so that if the backing plate has any kind of movement, this will prevent any squealing noises. And you're just going to kind of rub it in just like that. It should look like that. And do the same thing here. Rub that in. Rub it in. And now she's ready for the new hardware. That's gonna pop in just like that. That's one. To the next one. Just like that. And now our brake caliper bracket is ready to be reinstalled. Last thing we got to clean up is the caliper itself. We now have our caliper here, our actual caliper, and I'm going to pull this old pad out. It sits in there with these hooks, and that is nasty in there. So get in here. And with our wire brush, just gonna clean all that rust out. And carefully kind of, the objective is here is to get a little bit of this. I'm not trying to actually scrape the gasket or the rubber, but just scrape that rust off the seal here as best as you can. You're not going to be able to get it all, but some is better than none. And just like that. Now, get a boot in here. Get a piece of paper towel and just clean all the grit as much as you can out of the boot area before we push this back. And I'll focus on this anti-rattle clip later, but for now, now I'm going to show you guys what I do here when I push these back. You can use a C-clamp and you put a brake pad in here and you physically push this back, but the objective here is to just push this piston back, okay? Alright, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to equip this straw here. When you push calipers back, you really don't want to push the old fluid back. ABS modules don't really like that nowadays. Plus, you want to get the old stuff out so that newer brake fluid can get into the system. If you remember, I cracked that earlier. I did it for a reason. So now, if I'm not mistaken, my left is, oh Jesus. Alright, crack it like that. Not too much, it's enough. And what's going to happen is, as we push this back, fluid is going to want to go inside there. So got me a brake pad to fit right here, and I have a caliper tool. You can use a normal C-clamp like a lot of people do. This is just a little bit fancier. And now as I squeeze my gun here, I don't know if you guys can see that, but fluid is going back into the line. Just like that. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And now this is all the way pushed in, and by doing this we don't allow any air to enter the system either. That's the most important part. Let me go down. This is to my right. We'll give that a final snug down with our wrench when we're done. But now we're gonna close that, and look at that, all that brake fluid out. Come in here again, and now I'm gonna clean this tensioner clip here because I don't have a new one, so we're gonna reuse this. Prepping this for the new surface. I'll get some sandpaper right here. Okay, because this smooth stuff is gonna sit right where the brake pad is gonna stick to. How you doing, sir?
You make a good job right there.
Oh man, I'm trying to do my best I can. We have our caliper cleaned up. Like I said, if you have a new one of these, probably pop this little tab up, push it in, snap in a new one. But now that we got this prepped, we can start putting all our new parts in. I'm gonna sit that right there so it's not putting stress on that brake hose. Let's get the rotor in. Alright, and these come with packaging oil, so you need to spray this. Clean paper towel and wipe that packaging oil off of. This has a coating, which is good, but we're gonna spin this here and clean this side as well. We're gonna clean in here too, because the parking brake grabs onto the inside of this. Alright, now the good stuff is ready to be installed. Let's get to it. And I got some anti-seize here. I like to just spread around the hub so that, just like that, so that in the future, when it's time to replace this again, however many years that'll be, this will come off easier. Let's get the rotor in. And just remember to line these holes up, so this should look, doing this with one hand, sorry, there we go, like that. And we can put our whole Phillips head back in here. Get some anti-seize right here, like that. And I'm only going to reinstall one of these. Two of these is completely overkill. If these don't come out easily, if they're stripped, I strongly advise you do not reuse them. That'll just be a nightmare in the future. And really, hold on. And just to show you an example of how tight, that's it, nothing more. Let's get the caliper and stuff in. Alright, and if you haven't already done so, just clean up your bolts, make sure there's no rust on them. I'm going to put a small amount of lock thread on here. There we go. Not a lot. And get this started, line it up. There we go. And same thing here. A little bit. Like that. You don't need a ton of this stuff. It's not even a requirement at all, but it's just good to have it. 17s, lock them back down. Let's see here. Now, torque wrench time. Alright, now I have a pretty massive breaker bar. Torque wrench, but these get torqued to 80 foot-pounds. So come here, and it's 80 right there, and here as well. And it's locked in. Now we can do our caliper. One more thing I gotta get off. Alright, got our brake pads here. Alright, inside pad goes in first, but before I do that, I'm gonna put a little bit of something called disquiet stick. It's like a paste here. Hold on. It's like a type of glue that'll bond to the backing plate so that it doesn't cause any vibrations. I'm gonna put that right here on this on the piston ring right there, and then get your brake pad here. And this is designed properly because the squealer should be on the inside, because the inside pad wears out a little bit faster than the outside one does. There we go. And as you can see here, the anti-rattle clip kind of just holds pressure on the brake pads. That's so that they don't shake or vibrate when you drive. But now we got this on here, we can get our new pad on the other side. And I'll show you, I'm gonna put more of this disquiet stuff right here on those ears. That's what I call them. And here. And here. Good. Let's get that new brake pad. Alright, and we got some of our ceramic grease here. And I'm just gonna put just a dab of this stuff where it makes contact with the hardware so that it moves and is nice and quiet. Like that. Like that. Notice I'm not touching the brake pad material itself. Do not want to get that stuff on there. And boom. And look at that. Moves freely and nice and quiet. And I'm going to do the same thing right here. A little bit there. And a little bit right there. Still a little bit more. Like that. So push your slide pins in. Oh, I see what's going on. There we go. And now we can get our these bad boys back in like that. Okay, and I'll show you what to do in this situation. Okay, yeah, that was turning too. Not a big deal. And what you do here is just get either an appropriate size wrench, but you need to hold the slide pin in place like that. And you twist it, and that's how you snug it down, because this will spin with the nut. So I'll do the same thing down here, and you hold it in place nice and firm, just like that. I think that torque spec is 17 foot-pounds if you really care. And get our dust cover back on there. Alright, and get our 10 mil here. Remember, you do not kill this. Yeah, that's good. You kill that, that thing will snap off. And put this right back on there like that. There's one last thing we need to get. This little piece here is a rubber boot for the parking brake adjuster. Just gonna push it in, push it out, just like that. And just get this little piece here. Like I said, this is a cutout for the parking brake if you ever have to adjust it. Excuse me. And just push that back in, just like that. Good. And one last thing to do here is just turn your caliper if you can. And if you hear any like scraping or scratching noises, means something's making contact. Just a good way of making sure you did everything right. We're gonna pump our pedal and make sure we don't see any brake fluid coming out of here, and we'll be done here, you guys. And you'll feel it go to the floor maybe once, and then you'll feel that thing get tight as a brick. That's exactly what we want to feel. And the final part is this brake fluid here. I forgot. Get it in. There we go. Gotta refill this. I think it takes .3 probably. .3. You can put .4 and .3 brake fluid. You just can't do it the other way around. And we're gonna fill that back up to the max line. Almost there. And there we go. Back up to the max, which is right there. Because I took fluid out of the system, so gotta put new fluid back in. It's so tight right here. Turn my hands up. There we go. Lock her in place. These tabs are not easy to get out. Push them back in like that. And then put the weather stripping back on. And just like that, good to go. Put your lug nuts back on. Just get them snug. Put it on the ground and tighten them to 100 foot-pounds. And they're 19 millimeters. And everything is nice and snug. Nothing leaked. And you feel that strong resistance. Perfect. Means them pads is biting. So we're all done here, you guys. Thanks for watching. Till next time. Out. Bye.